Once again, I want to show you today some of these big old plants that have grown up. So we're outside today. It's very nice, about 70 degrees, sunny. A couple clouds here and there, but not much. So what we got here are some tomato plants. I'll show you one here. So we got this tomato plant right here in, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's in kind of like a terracotta, tan, dark tan, light brown type pot. You can see how big it is. Look at my finger to see how big this thing is. I like using these, and I should have used them from the get-go. You know, this was a learning process this year. I was trying to throw some hydroponics in here. I was trying to do different size pots. I was trying to do a lot of flowers in a confined space because, you know, as an economist, those are things that we care about, is efficiency, effectiveness, and that production possibilities curve. So what I want to show you now is what I call splitting. If you remember before, I told you before I was an economist, and I put a couple seeds in each of these cells, right, just to make sure that things grow. Well, you can see here that I threw a couple tomato seeds in this one cell, and I've got 3 of them. Now normally I cut them before they get this big, but for whatever reason, I guess because I'm getting married soon, I missed out on cutting these. Now typically you like to cut them when they're young so that they can grow very, very strong. You know, instead of, you know, fighting each other for the nutrients, you have one plant that gets all the nutrients. But luck has it, I'm going to transplant these. I'm actually going to take all 3 of these plants and put them in their own little pot to grow really strong. So why don't we go ahead and show you that video here. So I'm going to take a break. Give Burpee's seed starting mix. More or less all this is dirt with some nutrients in it, okay? So don't get mixed up on the seed starting mix and organic. I mean, organic's great. Like I was saying, for this whole project, everything's organic, but you know, yeah, you want to look at some of the stuff, but don't get all excited about the word coconut. Because at the end of the day, what you care about is all this stuff down here. The guaranteed analysis of all the nutrients that are in here. So you want nitrogen, phosphate, and potash. So those are all the things you care about. And those of you that are chemistry students, look at the symbols there. Okay, potassium, different stuff, phosphate, oxygen, nitrogen. So back to this. Okay, what I'm going to do here, unfortunately I don't have the luxury of having 3 hands, is I'm going to gently pop this guy out. Now most people don't like it when you do this, but I know that it's already loose. So I'm going to show you here, this is what's called root bound. It means that all the roots of these 3 plants are wrapped around this, you know, cell. It's kind of almost cone shaped because that's what the cells are. They're kind of cone shaped. They have 4 sides, but still, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm not a geometric, you know, professor. So I'm not a mathematics professor of shapes and all that stuff. So what I'm going to show you is I want to separate all 3 of these. So I'm gently just rubbing these down, just very gently. You know, I'm sure there's a scientific term for this, but just gently rubbing these out of here. Getting all that dirt out because that's what's holding it all together. You know, the dirt, and again, there's some physical term, metaphysical term, I'm sure, some properties of how this dirt and this, you know, seeds and all their little fibers hold themselves together. You know, so basically got a lot of that loose stuff now. Still working it out. So what I need to do now is set down the phone. Okay, let's see if I can show you what I'm doing here. So I'm still working this out. Just playing around with it a little bit, getting dirty. That's why they call it a green thumb. There's green stuff there. There's my thumb. It's getting dirty. Okay. So now I've got these 3 here. And I'm gently going to start pulling. Gently. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. They're gently coming apart. Okay, there we go. There's one. Here's that little guy. Still a very viable plant. And here's the third one. Okay. Next video I will show you is how I'm putting them together. And these again are little pot things. Not pot. These are the pots. Okay, ha. So, what we got here is, I'd say about 2 inches diameter. Got one tomato plant. Right there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of dirt in the bottom. A little bit more. Just a little bit of dirt. Because these are transplant cups. These are not their final destination. So they will be removed in a couple weeks. Week or two. So now I got this guy. I'm going to put him right in there. Okay. I'm going to show you something here. You got to look close. See these little, almost like spikes? Those want to become roots. Okay. Don't know what the technical term is for them. And I'm not a master gardener. I'm just a jack of all trades trying to do what I can. So if I put dirt on those, they will become roots. And that's important because with wind and other, as these things get bigger, they're going to want a lot more nutrients. And sometimes you have to go far and wide to get them. See how deep these are already? Water, the bigger the plant, just like you as a human being. I guess we're doing a biology or anatomy lesson here. The taller you are, the stronger you are, the more activities you have, the more calories you need. Same thing here. The larger the plant, the more it's producing, the more nutrients it needs to keep growing. So what I'm doing here is just putting enough dirt down so that I can kind of reach some of those little spiky things. So being gentle. That's why they call it a labor of love. I could easily just smash this dirt down, but then I'm going to break some of the roots or the stem. So just very gently trying to put some in here, a little bit at a time. Yes, it does take a while sometimes. And before long, put some over here to reinforce it so it stays up. Center, because it wants to hang to the left a little bit based on how it grew, how the plant got its light. It bent a little bit out of shape and stuff. Again, I'm sure some scientist out there could tell me more about that, but all intent and purpose, I don't care. This is about economics. So now those 3 that you saw in the previous video are right here. 1, 2, 3. We could call them Huey, Dewey, and Louie if we would like, and then I can show you how they're growing in the next couple of days to weeks. My hypothesis is they will double in size next week. Because now they're free, they're not competing for water or nutrients in their own little cell. Now they're in their own little pots. Okay. So that concludes this little lesson, and hope you enjoy.